Hey everyone, my name is Wade, and in this video we're going to be talking about how this particular client is live streaming in 2 rooms today. We're going to be showing you a little bit about what gear we're using in each room. We're going to be showing you how we're using the BoxCast Spark, and then we're also going to be talking about what features this client's using. Let's get into it. Okay, let's talk about what equipment they're using in Ballroom A. So to start, we're using 3 PTZ cameras. One's wide, one is tight, and then one is just more of a crowd shot. And then we have a 4th camera that's doing like a sideline reporting, is what we like to call it, shot, which is really just the host, Amy, interacting with the virtual people. We think this is really, really valuable because you have about 200 people watching online, and she's over there introducing the moderators, asking other people that are here questions. It just brings a little bit more immersive experience to those folks online when they're not in the room. And with that setup, we're using a Canon EOS R with just a light on her. Now, let's talk about like our whole production table here. So we've got a PTZ op station where they have their own custom multi-view where they see their 3 cameras plus Super Source, which I'll put a image of what Super Source looks on the screen. I want to give a shout out to Josh Nazar because we kind of stole this look from him and we've been using it at all our gigs, so thank you, Josh. Next, if we move over here, this is where we have someone switching. So they're actually using an ATEM 2ME Constellation, and they're just switching it right here on the computer, and they've got a nice 40-inch monitor that they use to switch. This is all being powered by our ultimate live streaming rack, which we already have a video on, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but take a look at that video if you want to learn more about what's all in this thing. And at the end of the table here, this is actually all of our clients' gear, but they manage all the PowerPoint for us, and they manage the audio with an SQ5 mixer, so they make it easy on that end. Okay, and one thing that I'd recommend adding to your event, which we really like, is the client had these beautiful graphics that they made, and they made this kind of like rotating logo image, and we just put it up on a laptop here, ran it into our switcher, and that's just kind of our hold slide. So before the day begins, they have this beautiful rotating logo that they made, and then at the end of the day, we throw it back on. So just a little tip that you could do. All right, now let's go into Ballroom B and look at what gear's in there. So in Ballroom B, we have 2 Sony PTZ cameras, one that's wide, one that's tight, and then our table over here just has a ATEM Mini Extreme, which doesn't do as much as the ATEM 2ME Constellation. Like it only has 2 HDMI outputs, so one goes to multi-view and one actually goes to the BoxCast Spark. But it works perfectly in this room because we really only have the 2 cameras and then we have a PowerPoint input. So we don't have a ton of inputs and outputs. Lastly, right here, our tech guy running this room brought his own controller that he's kind of customized and he likes to use, and the buttons feel a little bit better. So that's why this is here. We've got our audio mixer because we're getting audio from John and his crew over there, which we have some crowd mics where they can, if people are saying some answers and they don't have a microphone, they can turn it up. And lastly, here's the other PTZ Ops station. Now, you might be seeing it's a little different than John's station. John has all his cameras on there. This person only has 1. So what we like to do in this room is we keep the wide camera wide. It doesn't really move too much. We really only give him the camera that's just moving on stage. So as you can see, he's just seeing the camera that's following close. And you might be wondering, why are there pink lines on his monitor? Well, that's just his view for Super Source. So we try to give him like a guide of where he can go. If the person walks in and out of those pink lines, then they're in and out of Super Source. There's another company that's running the PowerPoint and audio in this room as well. All right, so now let's talk about the Spark encoders. For this particular client, they have 2 Spark encoders. They have an HDMI version and an SDI version. In this particular room, Ballroom A, we're using the SDI version. In that room, we're using the HDMI version. Now, why the Spark encoder is so important is because it allows them to stream at the highest quality possible. So for the first 2 days, we were streaming at 16 megs, 1080p 60, and it looked flawless. And then here's where BoxCast and the Spark encoder and the whole platform really, really show off its power and how versatile it is, and it's great. On day 3, let me tell you something, we lost internet in the hotel.
No! No!
It was not great. You're streaming in 2 rooms, you lose internet. What do you do? So we kind of scrambled for 15 or 20 minutes. No one had internet on their computers. We couldn't obviously live stream. So in Ballroom A, I turned on our hotspot and I put on max flow control, and that saved us, and we were able to stream from about 10:30 to 4 o'clock till the end of the day. So cool, that worked in here. So that saved us in Ballroom A, but in Ballroom B, we turned on a phone hotspot and we tried to connect it to the Spark encoder, and it wasn't really strong enough. But what we did end up doing, and this is the power of the BoxCast platform, is it was connected to the Mac Mini in there. And we decided, hey, let's just try to stream from StreamYard. So we went from StreamYard to RTMP to BoxCast, and that seemed to work great for the whole day. So from about 11 to 4 till the day ended, we were able to live stream via RTMP to BoxCast. And again, that just goes to show you with BoxCast, you have a ton of options. Yes, you could use our Spark encoder, that's what we recommend, but sometimes you might have to pivot and use something like StreamYard, OBS, Wirecast, vMix, and you could use all those products with BoxCast and it will work great still. So last thing I want to talk about is some of the features that are really, really important to this organization and why they really use BoxCast. So in an event like this, let's start with this. They use chat. So they have dedicated moderators from their organization in the chat, and they're managing about 200 people. This is really, really important to them because they like to be super connected to their audience, and even they see familiar names in the chat that they've seen at other events. So to them, chat is super important and they need that on their embed codes. One feature that's a huge bonus is analytics in this event, because without analytics and without people watching and actually having the stats to track that, they wouldn't be live streaming. So having clear and concise data that shows, hey, we're live streaming and there's like 80 to 90 people in each ballroom watching at both times is great data for this organization to continue using BoxCast. And since they're a travel organization, the one thing that they really, really like in analytics is the geo map. So you can see exactly where people are watching from based on their IP address. And that's really, really important to them because they have people all around the country and they travel all the time. So they can kind of see, oh, where are most people watching from for our live streams. And lastly, the real main reason I wanted to make this video is concurrent broadcasts. I think there's a lot of people out there who want to live stream 2, 3, 4 things all at the same time, and maybe they struggle with that. They don't know if they should go to YouTube, or they should do like 2 on Facebook and 2 on YouTube, or how it all should work. With BoxCast, we make it super easy to do concurrent broadcasts all at the same time. In the dashboard, it looks really, really nice. You have broadcast A and broadcast B, and we just make it super easy to manage all the broadcasts that you want to do at the exact same time, which is one reason why this particular client continues to use BoxCast. So in this video, we went over a little bit of our setup, we went over the Spark encoders, we went over the BoxCast platform. I know that was a lot of information and we did it pretty quick. If you have any questions, put them in the comments down below. Thanks for watching and happy streaming.